Who has been known as being infamous for fighting for the good team. He's given input and advice to Richard Nixon, to Ronald Reagan, to Jack Kemp, to Bob Dole, to... Ladies and gentlemen, please stand to your feet and greet the always controversial and newly saved Roger...
What's that? The camera looks...
Thank you so much. God bless you. I can't wait to hear what I have to say. First of all, I've been asked to make an emergency announcement. If you are a liberal, a Democrat, a communist, a socialist, an atheist, or you just watch CNN, please get quiet. COVID-19 vaccination as soon as possible.
I'm going to lock you up.
And then get the booster. No, listen, we don't wish that on anyone. I don't care about your politics. This vaccination is not a vaccination.
I'm recording.
It's not safe. So for those who have taken it, we pray for them. And for those who are thinking about it, we pray for the Lord to give you the wisdom not to take the jab. First of all, I want to thank my longtime associate, Kristen Davis, for arranging for me to be here. And not to mention my friend, the P.T. Barnum of the conservative movement, one of the greatest impresarios I know, Clay Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you as living proof that Jesus Christ can do anything. I think most of you know I'm a 40-year associate of the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln, Donald J. Trump. And on January 25th at 6 o'clock in the morning, arriving in 17 armored vehicles, a helicopter and 2 amphibious units, 29 SWAT-clad, heavily armed, night goggle wearing, M4 fully automatic assault weapon bearing FBI agents surrounded my home to arrest me for the first time nonviolent crime of lying to Congress. This cost you, the taxpayers, $1.1 million. They were well aware of the fact that I did not own a firearm, although I'm a strong supporter of the Second Amendment. I didn't have a valid passport, and thanks to CNN, I'd say my mug is pretty identifiable. I was most certainly not a flight risk. But then I was taken to the federal courthouse in Fort Lauderdale. I was put into a holding cell with 3 African-American gentlemen who were just coming around from an all-night bender. And I must tell you, by the time I left that cell 2 hours later, all 3 of them were supporting Donald Trump for president. I was hungry. I asked one of the guards, since they'd arrested me at 6 a.m., it was about 11, I asked the guard if I could get some food. He said, no food for you. So 2 of my cellmates gave me half of their peanut butter sandwiches. God bless them. I was squeezed in a Soviet-style show trial. I stood for trial in the exact same courthouse as that great American patriot, General Michael Flynn, a man of destiny, a man of courage, a man who was being assaulted by the same illegitimate politically motivated prosecutors that were trying to destroy me. And then in July, when they could find no evidence of Russian collusion, after the judge ruled unconstitutionally in every pretrial motion, and of course, as you know, I was gagged. After I lost my home, my savings, my insurance, my car, after I lost everything to pay for a legal defense for this sham trial. In July, they brought my attorneys down to Washington, one of my attorneys, and they took him into one of the safe rooms and they said, your client's gonna die in prison. A DC jury's gonna hate your client's guts. My lawyer said, well, the jury hasn't been selected yet. How do we know that? Don't worry about that. This jury's gonna hate his guts. Now here's a list of 26 cell phone calls between your client, Roger Stone, and Donald Trump. And all he's got to do is remember. All he's got to do is admit that these calls were about coordinating with the Russians in WikiLeaks. And if he'll do that, we'll urge the judge to give him leniency in his sentencing. My attorney said, well, I can't speak for my client. I'd have to consult him. They said, well, go out in the hall. Call him on your cell phone. But to let him know that if he doesn't cooperate, we're going to hit him with superseding charges to ensure that he dies in prison an old man. So my attorney called out. We kind of figured what they wanted. My attorney came out in the hallway, told me what they'd said. He said, should I convene the other attorneys that we have on the team for a conference call? I said, no, that won't be necessary. He said, what shall I go in there and tell them? And I said, go in there and tell them. Now look at where we are in this country, ladies and gentlemen. Gas prices are going up higher than Hunter Biden. The numbers on the gas pump go up faster than Brian Stelter stepping on a scale. We have a situation. Let me ask you a question. Do you think when President John F. Kennedy met Nikita Khrushchev for the Vienna summit, do you think he crapped his britches? When Richard Nixon was putting the final touches on a nuclear arms reduction agreement with Leonid Brezhnev of Russia, do you think he soiled his pantaloons? When Jimmy Carter was at Camp David and working out the Camp David Accords with Menachem Begin and Anwar Sadat, do you think that Jimmy Carter was making room for lunch? No. I guarantee you one thing. When Donald Trump met with the Queen of England, he didn't drop a deuce. Now we know, ladies and gentlemen, that before his meeting with the Pope, that Joe Biden crapped his britches, and now everyone in America is eating a brick. Now I wish I could tell you that the fight is over, but it isn't. Today, my wife and I have been sued in 17 individual harassment civil suits. These are baseless, unsubstantiated, meritless, groundless lawsuits. This is called lawfare. You file sensationalized but evidence-less lawsuits against people to grind them down, to drag their name through the mud, to make them make them pay a fortune to lawyers. I have already had 11 of the 17 dismissed. I will settle none of them. I will fight. If you get a solicitation from the Stone Legal Defense Fund, yes, I still need your help. These lawsuits are expensive. I have the Biden Justice Department suing me over my 2007 taxes. And every assertion in the government's lawsuit is false, every single one of them. But of course they released it Friday at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock so that your denial never makes the final story. That's how you know this is all politics. I think some of you also know that after my pardon, early this year, my poor, sweet wife of 30 years, Media Stone, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And she is waging an extraordinarily brave, spiritual, holistic, homeopathic, and all-natural war against cancer. And with the prayers of the people in this room and the prayers with people around this globe, she is winning this fight, and the Lord tattoo of Nixon on my back. It's about the size of a grapefruit, right between my shoulders. Now, I must tell you, this is not a political statement. It's a statement that in life, when you get knocked down, when you strive for something again and again, but it eludes your grasp, when you're ready to quit, when you're discouraged, that's the time to get up off the mat, to dust yourself off, and get back in the fight. That is what God requires.
Quiet, fix it.
It's what wins. There are many, many intelligent people, highly intelligent, who have failed. It's not hard work either. There's many hardworking people who have failed. It is persistence, Calvin Coolidge tells us. It is persistence that wins every time. President Nixon said, a man is not finished when he is defeated. He is only finished when he quits. Until one has been in the depth of the lowest valley, one cannot appreciate the majesty of God's highest mountaintop. Let me finish by saying that I will never quit.